Hello everyone, hope you're all doing good. So today we are here for grade 9 maths. The chapter today we discuss that is the statistics. So you can find all the lessons on aplusstudent.com. You have to log in by using their email and the passwords that are provided by the administrator. Go to the subject tab, select maths from there and move to the grade 9. So here we already discussed this one. This is the grade 9. First you go to the A plus app, select maths from there and scroll down to the grade 9. View all chapters. Here are the list of the chapters. So today we are on the statistics. Let's open this and we already discussed the first 4 chapter, which is identify the biased samples, identify an outlier and describe the effect of removing it, identify an outlier and interpret a scatter plot. So today we discuss this one. This is the match correlation coefficient to the scatter plot. So let's get start this one, okay? So here I was just checking my mic, okay? Now let's get start. So here is match each correlation coefficient to the appropriate scatter plot. The line in each scatter plot is at least the square regression line. Okay. So you guys first let's discuss what is basically the correlation coefficient. Okay. So what is the meaning of correlation coefficient? Correlation coefficient is like, for example, this is the number between -1 and 1. Okay. That indicates basically the strength and the direction of the linear relationships. For example, like between the two variables, let's suppose if I'm going to say that the common type, okay, so the common type that is basically denoted with the R. Okay. So in this one, there are basically the 3 correlations. First one is the positive correlation, then the negative correlation, and there is no correlation. Okay. And then we discussed is what is a strong positive correlation, what is a basically weak positive correlation, and what is basically the perfect positive correlation. Okay. For example, if I'm going to write it here, the positive correlation, for example, here is your graph. Okay. Here is our graph. And let me draw this one. And then here are a lot of dots over there. Okay, this one, like these are the small dots. Okay, so if these are your all small dots, so this is your positive correlation. Why? Because it's moving up, okay, from 0 to positive way. So we can say that this is a basically like this is the positive correlation, okay, because it's all here. When we're going to talk about the negative correlations, so what is the meaning of negative correlation? For example, if we are going to talk about the negative correlation, this is like in this way. For example, this is your graph and here is the line. Okay, and here are the small dots. So here are here are the dots. Okay, this is your negative correlation. And if they are talking about there is no correlation, what does it mean? It means that if your graph is this one and here is your line, okay, there is no correlation and here are some dots over there, so this is no correlation. Sometimes the correlation is perfect positive, strong positive, weak positive, then no correlation, then it's a weak negative, strong negative, perfect negative. These are the different examples then. Okay, so here we're going to discuss it out. What is the basically correlation coefficient? Now the correlation coefficient here, they are denoted r is equals to -1 and r is equals to 0.9. We see in the graph, okay, the first one. This is the graph between the x and y axis. This is also the graph between the x and y axis. Okay. So here are the two relations. Like for example, which one that is basically shown in the figure? Okay, let's see in the figure. This one is equals to, they are saying that like what is basically the correlation coefficient. So here is the scatter plot, and when we see the correlation coefficient, okay, the correlation coefficient is like we are going to check it out. The basically all these the points. Look at here the point. Is that the negative or positive correlation? This is basically the positive, but it's a weak positive when we see in the second one. Okay, when we see in the first one there is no correlation. Why? Because look at here, this is the straight line. So this is basically the thing that we have discussed in it. Now look at here in this in the second one. This is again the same thing, because when we see it, okay, when we see it, like for example, the different examples of this. Let me just write it. So you guys tell me. Let's do it. For example, the perfect positive. Okay, when we see the perfect positive, when we see the perfect positive. So what is a perfect positive? It means that, like for example, when we draw the graph, this is your graph, okay? This is a strong positive points here, strong positive points, okay? Now look, all these points are strong positive here, okay? When we say that the this is a basically perfect positive correlation, when they are saying that the strong positive correlation, so how the strong positive correlation, it's like some points like this way, like in random, okay, like it's a line, it's a strong line here, but it's a sometime a random one or two here, okay. This is a basically strong positive correlation. When we are going to talk about the weak positive correlation, what is a weak positive correlation? Like for example, the points are like sometime this way. It's moving upward, but it's like this way. Okay? Like in random sum points. These are your the positive correlation, perfect correlation. Okay? This is a perfect positive, then the strong positive, and then the weak positive correlation. This is a basically that we have done in this way. All right. So in the second one, we will also do the same thing. So here we're just going to match it and then just checking it out. Okay. Now the next is quartiles. Let's start this one. So first of all, we discuss it. What are basically the quartiles? Okay. So what are basically the quartiles? So the quartiles are like, for example, I'm going to open this whiteboard. Okay. This is a basically like set of values that have some points, and you are just going to dividing the data into these identical points. Okay. So we can orderly deal with large amount of numerical data sometime, and where sometime we're using the different formulas and all that. Okay. So the type of quartiles which divide the number of data points, look at here, these are all the points into their different parts, okay, or quarters, or you can say that a more or less size and all that. Look at here, this is the data that is 3, 4, 4, 5, and these are basically the 6, 6, 6, 6, and 7, okay, 9 and 9. Now what we do for that? Divide the number into the lower half and then upper half. What is the lower half here? Look at, we are just going to count it. How many number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the first way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the last, and this 6 is in the middle. Okay, this 6 is in the middle. So when we see that upper half quotile, what are the upper half quotile? The last one, the last 5. So okay, so how many last? 6, 6, 7, and double 9. And now what is the upper quotile? Like in the middle of it, that is 7. The upper quotile is the median of the higher half of the data. That's it. Let's suppose if I'm going to write the data here, let's do it. For example, we are going to writing the data. This is 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 7, and double 9. So when we see it, what is upper half quotile and what is the lower half quotile? Look at here. We count it all. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's 11. What is the middle of it? So it means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the middle. Okay, this one is the middle. So when we see that this one is in the middle, so what are all these? This is basically your lower half quotile. And what is this one? This is your upper half quotiles. Now write it down, all the upper half quotiles. This is 6, 6, 7, double 9. Okay, these are your upper half quotiles. Now we are going to see the middle of these upper half quotiles. What is the middle? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The middle is this one. So this is your basically the upper quotile, that is 7. So this is your upper quotile. Okay, that is 7. Now let's discuss the next question. So here in the data set below, what are the lower quotiles? Here they are saying that, look at here, what is the upper quotiles? So we are going to write the upper one. What is the lower? First we write the lower, the median, and the upper quotile. The three things now. Data is given in the question. Let's write the data firstly. This is 15, 21, 21, 26, 36, and 51 and 54. Is that the data? Yes. So first of all, we're going to finding it out. They are saying that the median. Then we're going to just finding it out the lower half, then upper half, and then just writing it out. Okay. Three things they're talking about finding it out in this one. First is median, then the upper, and then the lower. Okay. So the upper quotile and lower quotile. So first we're gonna finding it out. What is the median? Let's check the data. When we are going to see the data, this is our data. Okay. When we are going to check out that data, so how many total? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what is the middle? 3 in this side, 3 in this side, and this is your middle. That is your median. So what is the median? Which is 26. So here we're gonna write the 26. That is our median. Now for finding the lower quotiles. What are the lower? These all three are your lower, and these three are your upper. Okay. So first we're gonna write down the upper one, that is 36, 51, and 54. Now tell me what. So the middle is 51. So this is your upper quotile. Now let's write down the lower one. This is 15, 21, 21. What is the middle of this? That is 21. So this is the lower quotiles. You are just going to do the simple thing here. What we do, that simple thing. Which one is first of all finding the median? The median is just simply the middle number. Now gonna finding it out the upper. What is the meaning of upper quotile? Upper quotile is basically all the right side digits. Gonna write it and then just finding it out the middle one. Now for the lower quartiles, we are going to find all the digits from the median to the left side, writing it out and then just finding it out the middle of this number. This is basically your lower and the upper quartiles. Okay. So first they are saying that they are saying that here first writing the lower quartile, then median and then upper quartile in order. Okay. I'm just checking my mic. Now, so let's finding it out this one. Let's do this question. In the data set below, what are the lower quartiles, the median and the upper quartiles? Let's writing the data firstly. The data is 26, 30, 34, 39, 59, 74 and 80. 74 and 80. So first we're gonna finding it out the lower quartiles. Okay. Then we're going to finding it out the median. Then gonna finding it out the upper quartiles. Okay. These three things. So first you guys tell me, now this time you guys tell me if this is your data. Okay. If like this is your data, 26, 30, 34, 39, 59, 74 and 80. So what is the basically the lower quartiles? Look at here. First gonna check it out. How many of it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what is the middle one? This is your middle one. This side is your lower. This side is your upper. Okay. Let's writing the upper quartiles. Lower quartiles here firstly. This is 26, 30, 34. And what is the middle of this? That is 30. So this is your lower quartiles. What is the median? Only the in the data. That is 39. What are the upper quartiles? Which is 59, 74, 80. And the middle of this is 74. So this is 74. Understand this one. This is lower quartile, that is median, and that is the upper quartiles. 26, 30, 34, 39, 59, 74, and 80. Out of this data, we are doing just basically this way. Okay. So again, I'm going to repeat this thing. How to finding it out the lower quartiles and upper quartiles and medians. So first you're going to see the data. So here is the data which is given 26, 30, 34, 39, 59, 74 and 80. So first we're going to check what is the median of this. The median is basically the middle number of this data. So the middle number is 39. So we click on the 39, that is the median. Now we're going to check what are the lower quartiles and what are the upper quartiles. So the lower quartiles are on the left side digits from the median, and the upper quartiles are the digits from the right side of the median. Median is 39 here, so all the digit on the right side, which is upper, that is 59, 74 and 80. Again finding the middle. Okay, for the upper quartiles, because there are three digits here, so again finding the middle, that is 74, we're gonna click. Now for the lower quartiles, what we do, we're just going to again finding the, just placing first of all the left side digits 26, 30, 34, and then just this is the middle of that data. This is the basically way that we have done in it. Okay. Now let's gonna discuss the next lesson. Hope you guys understand this lesson. Okay. So mean absolute deviation. Let's discuss this one. So what is basically the mean absolute deviation? So this is basically the proper formula for that. What we do, here is the formula for the mean deviation. Okay. So the formula is, like, first of all we're going to finding the mean. What is the meaning? What is the meaning of the mean? Mean is basically adding all the data and by dividing how many the digit in it. Okay, adding all the numbers. Let's suppose, for example, we have three numbers like 4, 5, 6. First we're gonna add up and then just dividing it how many total. Like there are three, so dividing over the three. So in this way we're gonna finding it out the mean. Now, next is subtracting the mean from each number. Okay, like 17 out of it, here is 44 out of it, all of it, but taking the absolute as well. When we are going to take the absolute, all the negative digits become positive, and then in the end, we're just going to divide this basically mean absolute deviation over the mean, and this is the way that we are going to finding it out MAD. Okay, and after rounding it, if it's depend, you're going to round it, then you're going to round. It's all up to you. Let's do it this question. Okay, let me write it here. That is 46, 53, 94, 46, 94, 46, and 10. Okay, so first we're gonna add up, then we're gonna divide it. Okay, let's do it. So for finding the mean, first of all, we are going to find the mean. What is the mean basically? Mean is denoted with this one, x and the bar over it. So the mean is just adding all the digits, 46 plus 53 plus 94 plus 46 plus 10, and dividing over how many it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's open the calculator and then just finding it out. Let's try to open now. You guys add up and then tell me how many total digit in it. So 46, let's add 46 plus 53 plus 93 plus 46 plus 10. So all of it is 248. Is it right? 46, 53, 93, 46, and 10. These are all 248. Now just dividing the 248 over the 5. So 248 divided over 5. It's 49.6. Okay. So first is 248 over 5, and again dividing, so this become 49.8. Okay, is that 49.8? 49.6. Okay, so this is 49.6. Understand this one? So what is the mean? So the mean value is 49.6. Now what is the step 2? Let's move to the step 2. So in the step 2, what we do, we are just going to basically look at here in the data, each set in the data. So what we do, subtract the mean and then just taking the absolute value. So we are going to take, what we take, each number in the data set, subtract the mean, and then take the absolute value, then take the sum of all the absolute values. Okay, so we are going to take the mean. The first digit is 46. We are going to subtract the mean. What is mean? 49.6, and taking the absolute value. Understand? Same thing, and then add up with the next value. What is the next value? Which is 53. 53, subtracting the mean value, taking the absolute value. then add up next digit 93, subtracting the mean value, taking the absolute value, add up with 46, again subtracting their mean value, taking the absolute value is represented with these two lines. Okay, then add up 10 minus 49.6, taking absolute. Okay, now let's start from the first. We are going to subtract, then taking absolute, then again taking the basically subtract and then taking absolute. First is 49, so it's 49 minus 49.6, so this is 0.6. Okay, minus 0.6 absolute as well with it. What is the next? 53 minus 49.6, this is 3.4. Okay, next is 93 minus 49.6, sorry, this is 90, that is 43.4. 43.4. Okay, add up with, this is the same, 46 minus 49.6, so which is same, minus 0.6. We're going to just write it. Now the next is 10 minus 49.6, that is minus 39.6. So now from this one we are going to open, that this becomes 0.6, this becomes 3.4, 43.4 plus 0.6, because the absolute value, that's why we are not putting the negative digit. Okay, 39.6. Let's add all the digits. 0.6 plus 3.4 plus 43.4 plus 0.6 plus 39.6. 0.6, 3.4, 43.4, 0.6 plus 39.6, and the value is 87.6. That is the answer. Now what we do? The next is we are just going to divide these both. Okay, we are going to divide 87.6 over the mean value, which is 49.6. Let's do it. So MAD, that is the mean. This basically represents MAD, that is showing the mean absolute deviation. Okay, so mean absolute deviation, which is 87.6. How many total digits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's divide. So dividing by 5, this is 17.52. If you want to round it, 17.52, it's all up to you. Otherwise you are going to write the mean absolute deviation like this way. This is the total way to do it. Okay, this is all about it. What we do in it, first we're going to find the mean, then just compute the mean deviation. How to find the mean? Just adding all the digits and just dividing it how many total digits in it. Okay, and for the computing the mean absolute deviation, what we do, we're going to subtract each mean, each value from the mean. Okay, and then just taking the absolute value and then take sum of all the absolute values and then just dividing this answer over how many of it. Okay, total number of values in the data. So this is a basically a mean absolute deviation. Now by dividing the sum above the total number of values in the data set, that is 94.8, just dividing it and then you are just going to finding it out. Okay, This is all about that we have done in it. Hope you guys understand this one. Let's discuss the last lesson of the day, which is the variance and the standard deviation. Okay, let's start. So, what is the variance and what is the standard deviation? So, look at here the data. They are saying that find it out the variance. There is a proper formula for the variance and the standard deviation as well. Okay, the same thing. First, we're gonna finding the mean in each of it. Then subtracting their mean. All the in the data set, we subtract the mean after taking the square. Okay, and then just taking the sum. This is a little bit difference. Like here, what we do, we are just taking the only the absolute value, but in the variance we are just going to find it out the square of these. Okay, square of the value and then just adding, and the same thing in the end we are going to basically divide how many the total, and we are going to divide it over the basically how many the values in the data set. So how many of it, these are, if these are 2, these are 3, then it's all up to us. So this is your variance. Okay, and what is the standard deviation? Standard deviations, we are not going to uh, and just taking the square root of the variance. This is basically standard deviation. Let's start. Okay, let's start from the data. For example, here is our data. So we're gonna do it 10, 94, 94, 52, 94, 52, and 50. So first step, mean. This is 10 plus 94 plus 94 plus 52 plus 50. Okay, and how many of it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's adding. So 10 plus 94 plus 94 plus 52 plus 50. So how many of it? These are 300 divided by 5, 60. Okay, so the mean is 300 divided by 5, and that is 60. Okay, now what we do, we are just going to do it the variance. What is the variance now? So the variance is, so look at here in the data, we are just going to finding it out now the mean here, that is 60. This is the right answer. Now the variance. This is a sigma. Okay, now for the variance, what we do, we are just going to subtracting this out of the mean, taking the square, and then just writing it out. Okay, I'm sorry. So the first digit is 10. So it's 10 minus 60, taking the square, plus 94 minus 60, taking square. Again, it's 94 minus 60, taking square. 52 minus 60, taking square. And 50 minus 60, taking square. Let's do it. 10 minus 60. What is the answer? And now when you're gonna writing it out, it may be the answer in the form of thousands, so it's not like your answer is wrong or anything. Okay, 10 minus 60, this is a minus 50. Okay, now we are just going to take the square of this. This is 2500. So first is 2500 plus 94 minus 60. Okay, this is 34. Taking the square of 34, 1156 plus, again, this is the same, 115 and 6. Okay, 52 minus 60. 52 minus 60. This is minus 8, and then taking the square, this is 64 plus 50 minus 60. This is minus 10, and that is the square, which is 100. Now gonna add up all of it. 2500 plus 1156 plus 1156 plus 64 and plus 100. 4976. Understand? Now this is your variance. So what we do for the variance now? We are just going to divide it. This variance over how many digits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the square of this 4976 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's divided by 5. Answer is 995.2. And this is your variance. Now for the standard deviation, what we do? This is the variance. Okay, for the standard deviation, we are going to take the square root of the variance. Understand? So what is the answer? The answer is 995.2, taking the square root of this value. So our standard deviation is, where is the square root? Here it's not given the square root. Let's check. So you're going to take the square root of this, and then we are just going to finding our answer. What is our answer? That is 31.54. Okay, 31.54. That is our answer. So this is our standard deviation. Okay. So now I'm going to repeat it again. What we do in this question. So this is our question. So we are going to finding it out the variance of this. What is the variance? That is 10, 94, 94, 52, and 50. So for finding it out the variance, we're just going to add up, first of all, finding the mean. For finding the mean, we're going to add up all the digits and dividing it how many digits. So 10, 94, 94, 52, 50, and 5. Okay. So add up and dividing how many of it. In this way, we're finding the mean. Now, what we do in the second, so finding the variance. So what is the variance? Just subtracting all the digits from the mean value, taking the square of it, and then in the end, all the data is combined. We are going to add up. So first digit is subtracting second, third, fourth, and fifth, then taking the square, all of it separately, and then just adding up in the end. Now adding, and then we are going to finding it out this answer. That is our variance. Now, if they are saying they're finding it out the standard deviation, same method you follow, we are going to do the same method in it. Okay, like all the method is same, just finding the mean, just finding the variance, and then just in the end you are going to take the square root of this value. So in this way, we are going to finding it out the mean, variance and the standard deviation. Hope you guys understand the lesson. Okay, so these are all the lessons today we discussed. So you guys make sure before starting the next session, you guys practice all these lessons. Okay, so what we do today we discuss the chapter which is the name, that is a statistic, and the lesson today we discuss which is match correlation coefficients to the scatter plots, quartiles, mean absolute deviation, variance, and the standard deviation. Okay, so we have done these basically the four lessons today. We have done all these four lessons today. Match the correlation coefficient to the scatter plot, quartiles, mean absolute deviation, and variance and the standard deviation. Hope you guys understand the lessons, and before starting the next session, you guys make sure to practice all these lessons. And see you in the next session. Have a great day, you all. Bye.